Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be doing an easy flip book using 6x6 paper. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, I was putting together some happy mail for my friend Andy. By the time this video goes up, hopefully she will have received it already. And I wanted to make her a little flip book so that I could add in some papers and some stickers that she can use in one of her journals that she likes to work in. I have a ton of 6x6 paper pads, but it's actually not my go-to size. More often than not, I find that I use either an 8.5 by 11 or more so a 12 by 12. Now, if you don't have a 6x6 paper pad, but you do have the 12 by 12, then just cut it and you'll get 4 6x6. But because I have a ton of these, I thought I would show you how to make a really quick and easy flip book. And it can be a lot more decorative. It can be a lot more elements to it, but that's going to be up to you. But I'll just show you the bare bones of it, and then I'll also show you what I've done. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to use this paper pad, which is My Girl by American Crafts. I don't know how I got this. I don't know if I bought this at a craft fair or if I bought it from Amazon, but I've had it, so I'm going to use it. And the reason I chose this one versus some of the Cartabella, I think there are, is because this is single-sided and I can show the advantages and disadvantages of both. So I'm just going to choose some papers, and fortunately this entire paper pad coordinates, and this one here. Now I am going to cut off this strip at the top. It is perforated, but I get a better edge if I cut it off. Now this paper may not be exactly 6x6. It doesn't actually matter. Yeah, it seems just a little shy of 6 inches, both tall and width-wise, but again, you'll see it's not going to matter. And then for one of these, I'm going to need to cut 1 inch off. Now, because I want this facing out, I need to score it while it's facing down. I just do prefer to score on the right-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 1 inch. And don't be lazy like I was and try to score 2 sheets at the same time. And that's going to create our hinge. So that, like that, like that. And then for this third sheet, I'm going to cut this side. Again, it seems a bit chaotic. It's just because there are things on the paper that I need to take account for. And that's the reason why I thought it might be easier to show you on a single-sided. Clearly that's not the case, but let's see if we can figure this out. So once you see the elements, you'll see that it is actually easier to go together, but I need the hinge to be on the right side. I also want the pattern to be on the inside because, and again, I'll show you once it's all together why it might make it look a little more finished. And so we're just gonna throw caution to the wind. This is just an example. I'm actually not gonna use this. If I were gonna use this, I would run the adhesive, but I would also put some tape. But just for the brevity and editing purposes, I'm gonna put this down close to the score, but I'm not going to actually go over the score because I do still need this to work as a hinge. And yes, that's problematic. And then we're going to put this together as well. And so that's why we needed this piece to be at 5 inches across, because once we add it to the hinge, all of these actually should be the same size, plus it should fold nicely in on itself. Now, where you're going to see why it might be advantageous to use the white if you're using single-sided on the outside is because when I made the one for my friend Andy, the paper is double-sided. And so you can see that there is a little hinge element here, and it may just be distracting for you. If you make it white and then put paper on top of it, then you kind of can hide that seam there. So you can do it with this. Again, you'll need to be aware of the hinge. You'll need to be aware of the placement of the direction of the paper. So either way, you can see that you can either use double-sided paper and you'll just have a showing hinge, or you can use single-sided paper and then put all of your decorative paper on the inside, and then that way when you cover this up you can layer on top of this and then that hinge kind of just disappears. So I did want to show you both of those ways. Again, the hinge is on the right, and then you have the shortest piece as the last piece you put down so that it can fold in, and then this can be your cover. I did put a little Velcro dot here just to keep it secure, and let's actually look at the components of this one, because essentially this is done. And then you could add some matted pieces here. You can make this as elaborate as you want. It is fairly easy, but again, the direction of the paper can prove problematic. Now, this one I left it fairly simple. I did do a cut apart from the actual pad. And then what I've done on the inside is for these two, I just added one of those adhesive pockets that you can get from Target. Now these were sent to me from my friend Andy, and so I've used them. And in this one, I used that 1-inch strip that I had cut off, and then I just made a little tuck spot. This one, I also included an adhesive pocket, and then this one, I made a little folder on the outside. Again, I didn't want to stuff this too full. I did want to send her some things in here. And if you don't have these little Target dollar spot adhesive, then I can show you 2 quick ways you can do it. I did want to use something that was clear because I wanted her to be able to see it. A lot of the ones that I see, they use just paper, and that's great, but sometimes I think the stuff they tuck in can get lost, especially if it's stuff like this, where it's stickers, versus if you're doing paper like this. I think that's fine in a folder, but in something like this, I specifically designed it this way so that you could see actually what it is that you're looking for. And then the reason I did put the Velcro is because there is quite a bit of paper in here, and I wanted to keep it as secure as possible in the easiest way, and I have these dots. Again, this is the adhesive square label pockets. You can get these at Target. These never showed up at my Target, so these are the only ones I have, and my friend Andy did send these to me. But you can use a page protector. Now, it's hard to see because it's clear, but I'm going to just cut this apart, and I'm going to cut it at 3.5 inches. Well, actually, how big are these? About 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, perfect. So I'll cut this at 3.5 inches. And then I'll cut it and make it actually a little deeper and cut it by 4. Again, the dimensions of your pocket doesn't really matter because you can actually make this in any size, so long as you're taking into account the hinge. And then of course you're going to want your pocket to work along with that. So as you can see, I was able to get a piece that has this here, but you could actually use any piece because I'm just going to tape it down. Now it's not going to be super cute. However, I guess that would work as well, and at least that one is going the right way. But you could just tape this down. Now you could use washi, and you may want to use washi beneath this. Let me show you what I mean. But this will not hold it down. It's really just to be a decorative element. You could also punch it, but the circle punch that I have is not very sharp. And again, I'm just rushing so I can show you. But you'd put your washi down, you'd put it on the 3 sides, and then I would just go in with clear tape. Again, it's not the super sexiest thing, but I'd rather have this functional than super cute, because the purpose of this, for me at least, is just to send some things to my friend. I would be a lot neater, but again, just to show you guys. And then I would also, because it is 2 layers, I would tape this down. I would go all the way to the top. Again, I'm just trying to show you an example. And then the other thing you could use is some tracing or some vellum paper. Now this I had used between a coloring page, but really I would use something that you can, if not see everything through, then at least you can see some things through. Yeah, definitely I would think that would be the better option, but this would also look really nice. And then you could tape it down. This one you could actually glue down if you're using tracing or vellum paper, but for these plastic pockets specifically, I would use clear tape, just because the washi tape is not going to hold it down sufficiently. Okay guys, so again, once you have the bones of it, you can decorate this to your heart's content. You could actually keep going if you wanted to keep flipping for it, but I just want to show you the one that I had made for my friend. Again, the benefit of doing double-sided paper is you don't have to mat anything on it, but then I think the benefit of something like this, and then you're doing a mat on top of it, is you do get to hide the hinge, whether it's that way or whether it's that way. Be very aware of the direction of your paper if you have any. I'd love to see if you guys make any of these. If you do, tag me on Instagram at JoJo's Hannah. My Instagram information is below. Andy, I hope you've gotten this already and that you are enjoying it. But yeah, I just thought this was really simple, really straightforward, and it can become as elaborate, as fancy as you want to make it. All right, guys, well, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.